Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another simple episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, so I continue to bring the gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come right with your man, Captain Will. Hey, we got to go with today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are doing a lunchtime post-game of the South Carolina women's basketball team beating Texas Longhorns on last night. Lunchtime. Time to take a break. Y'all. Captain Will on. Got to take a break. So get your lunch ready. Get your popcorn. Get your pig feet. Get your sweet tea. Whatever it is. Time to take a break. And let's talk some basketball. But in lieu of that, before we get started with that, well, you know what? Follow me on Instagram at Captain Will OG. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. And, of course, follow me on the YouTube, Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. Now, in lieu of that, it is shot o'clock. We didn't do a show last night. Show last night because last night went to the game and had a ball. So we're doing a shot tonight, or should I say today at 11:32 in the morning. We are doing day drinking, and it's okay. It's Friday. We're still celebrating for last night, right? We're still celebrating for last night. So whatever your beverage of choice, if you're watching me at home, if you're watching me later on in the afternoon, in the evening time, if you're watching me tomorrow, if you are watching me at work, it is shot o'clock. So if you're at work, you better not do a shot. But if you are chilling, it's shot o'clock with Captain Will. Cheers. Woo! South Carolina did that last night. Oh, my goodness. Carolina did that. We did that. We had a great time last night. Shout out to my homeboy, Chuck Bailey, his wife, Sean. Shout out to both of them but having me and my baby, my chocolate drop in the suite. Had a great time. Thank you, my brother. Last night, in front of a sold-out crowd, 17,000 folks going crazy in Colonial Life Arena, color-coded. Looks so pretty. Got the new lights out there. Got the DJ was turned up. It was just so much fun. The environment was awesome. If you have not been to a high-level college basketball game, you're missing out. Last night was unbelievable. And I've been to all of them. I've been to NBA games. I've been to NFL games. I've been to college football games, boxing, all of it, soccer. I've been to all of it. Last night was unbelievable. The atmosphere was top notch. It was so nice. Now let's talk about this game. The game itself was ugly. It was an ugly basketball game. You had two basketball teams that are straight up mirror images of themselves. You got two basketball teams that know exactly what's going to happen before it happened. You got two high-level basketball coaches, players that are unbelievable, but I don't like playing Texas whatsoever. Matter of fact, I despise playing Texas. I don't like it at all. I don't like playing Texas. It's always a hard-fought game. It's always tough. It's always physical. There's always a bunch of fouls. Always a bunch of turnovers. It's not pretty basketball to watch. And last night was a testament of that. When you combine for 42 turnovers in a basketball game, when the game is 40 minutes long, 42 turnovers, you are not watching pretty basketball. And that's what happened. Wasn't pleasant. Wasn't pleasant to the eyes. 42 turnovers. You have two basketball teams. This is the weird thing about this game last night. You have two basketball teams that don't turn the ball over. You have two basketball teams that are both top 10 in fewest turnovers per game. You would have never thought that last night. You would have thought that both of these teams turned the ball over a ton. That was not the case. The game was ugly. But South Carolina showed that they can win a dogfight. They can win a scrap. They can squabble up with all of them. And that's what happened with this basketball team last night. I am so proud of these young ladies by getting their lick back. What happened in Las Vegas back Thanksgiving time. I'm so proud because we should have won that basketball game then. We should be 2-0 versus Texas. We should be undefeated going into our next basketball game versus Coppin State. That's what we should be, but we lost that game. But here's the cool thing about it, and we're going to break down this game. Just be patient with me. We got time. Y'all on y'all lunch break. It's okay. What should be discussed also is we are undefeated in SEC play. Okay? We're 5-0. That's where you want to be because you got Texas who have lost back-to-back SEC games. Texas still got to play LSU. Still got to play multiple games against top competition. LSU has already lost 2 basketball games in SEC. And like I said before, they got to play Texas. Carolina is undefeated. We already beat Texas. Okay? We got LSU on February the 14th. We got Oklahoma on next Thursday. Right now, we have a 2-game cushion over those basketball teams. South Carolina, if we handle our business the way we are supposed to do, we will win the SEC regular season title again. If we do that. Now, we've only been through 5 games. There's still a lot of basketball that has to be played in SEC. But make no mistake about it, Carolina will be favored in every SEC game going forward, including Oklahoma and including LSU. And I know Vanderbilt is out there looming, who is a really, really good basketball team. We got to handle our business against them, too. I think that game is on January 25th, but they got to come to the crib. They got to come to Colonial Life Arena. They got to come to 17,000, fans. They ain't ready for that. They are not ready for that. Vic Schaefer can complain. He can moan and groan to whoever he chooses to. The schedule is the schedule. Nobody was complaining, when Carolina playing this crazy schedule last season. Nobody was complaining about that. Dawn Staley being whine and moan and complain, blah, 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 blah. She ain't doing none of them things. You play who you supposed to play. And it just happens that last year, they had to play Carolina twice. This year, they got to play LSU twice. You play what's on your schedule. You played Carolina twice last season, you made the Final Four. You playing LSU twice this year, would you make the Final Four? I don't know. But I know what? This team didn't beat Carolina last night. We won. And it didn't end up that way. When you look at that first quarter, we looked bad. We didn't look good. Texas came out and had a 20-13 lead versus South Carolina, and that wasn't nice. Carolina shot 23% that first quarter. 3 for 13, 1 for 3 from the field. It was ugly. It was ugly basketball, and we just didn't look sharp whatsoever. It almost looked like we got, the crowd turned on us in terms of we was nervous. It was like, okay, we got all these folks out there. Let's perform. That's how I kind of felt like, let's perform in front of them. Like we had a concert. We got to perform. When they should have just, calm down, settle down. The first quarter just looked shaky. In Texas, shot 44% from the field in that first quarter. And Madison Booker did Madison Booker things. She is a terrific basketball player. In that first quarter, she had 7 points. She was 3 for 8 from the field, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. She had 7 out of their 20 points. The deal with this basketball team in that first quarter, we just didn't look sharp. Well, it was interesting in this basketball game, and particularly this first quarter, we were getting fouls. We had Jordan Lee. Jordan Lee had 2 fouls in the first quarter, never left the game. Justice Carlton had 2 fouls in the first quarter. Oldacre had 1 foul. We just couldn't control nothing. We couldn't control anything, and Latson never got going in the first quarter. She had 1 point, 0 for 1 from the field, had that free throw. Tessa, she had 4 points, and I thought, okay, this is going to be the game. This is going to be the game today that Tessa comes out of a slump and balls out. And in that first quarter, she had 4 points, had that big 3-pointer, 1 for 1 from the 3, 1 for 1 from the field, 1 for 2 for the free throw line. Joyce, first quarter, 4 shots, 4 points, 2 for 2 for the free throw line. Madina, 2 points, 1 for 3. We just couldn't get it going. We just could not get it going in that first quarter. And then we transitioned to the second quarter. South Carolina flipped the script, so to speak, and we had 19 points. They had 12 points. So things got back to somewhat normalcy. Carolina shot 44% from the field, 0 for 1 from the 3-point line, 83%, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. And Texas only had 12 points. It's kind of weird because they only had 12 points, but they shot 63% from the field, but it was only 5 for 8 from the field. And we're more aggressive. We're more intentional in that second quarter. Shout out to the coaching staff by flipping everything, and Texas just went dark. Went dark. Whatever they was doing in the first quarter, they didn't transition to the second quarter, or could it be that South Carolina kind of settled down and started playing within themselves? Started playing within themselves and started balling. And in the second quarter, Ta'Niya Latson started doing Ta'Niya Latson things. She's so quick. She's so aggressive. She's so smooth with it. Had 5 points, couple of steals, 2 for 3 from the field. I love me some Ta'Niya Latson. I just got to keep it real. I really do. I really do. I love our game. And in terms of Texas, Madison Booker didn't score. Rory Harmon started going off somewhat. She had 6 points. She was 3 for 3 from the field. But here's the deal. And Jordan Lee had 4 points as well. Here's the deal. And another foul. So Jordan Lee had 3 fouls in the second quarter, total. She had 2 in the first quarter and then an additional in the third quarter. Second quarter, I should say. But they don't come out of the game. Texas does not ever sub Roy Harmon, Madison Booker, Jordan Lee, specifically Jordan Lee and Madison Booker. They don't come out of the game. They play the whole game forever and ever and ever. For the half, you had a Texas basketball team shooting 50% from the field. I was perplexed about that because we are a basketball team. Defensively, came into this basketball game top 5 in defensive rating, top 3 in field goal percentage. You got a Texas basketball team that was shooting 50% from the field. You had Carolina shoot 34% from the field. You had 2 teams, both of them, and thank you, the goodness that we were still in this basketball game because Texas had 14 turnovers and we had 10. That's why we were still in the game, because Texas was turning the ball over. We was making them turnover. We were making them, we were pushing the pace, somewhat on defense, and they were doing the same thing against us. This is what happens when you play the same team over and over and over and over again, and we're the same team. We're essentially the same team. So we making them turn the ball over. They making us turn the ball over. It's your turn to turn the ball over, or it's our turn to turn the ball over. 24 turnovers in the first half of basketball. That is not what you want in a basketball game. And you look at the first half. With us shooting 35%, our leading score, we had, 4 players with 6 points. You had Ta'Niya Latson with 6 points, Tessa Johnson with 6 points, Joyce Edwards with 6 points, Madina with 6 points. You had Raymond with 4 points. Agot with 3 points. But here's the deal. Latson 2 for 4. Tessa 2 for 2. Joyce 1 for 8 in the first half. Her shot wasn't falling. Her first half, the shot wasn't falling. 8 shots, 1 field goal made, 6 points. But here's the deal. I've been waiting for Joyce Edwards to hit free throws. Coming to this basketball game, she was averaging about 64% from the free throw line. That first half, she was 4-4-4. 4-4-4. That's what she was. That's why she ended up having 6 points in the first half. She still ended up with 3 rebounds. Madina, I was disappointed. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to lie. That first half, I was disappointed. And you look at the stats, 6 points, 3 for 5 from the field, 2 rebounds. I wasn't getting much. We did not get much from Madina in that first half. We did not. We come back in that third quarter. That's what's, the third quarter, which is normally our get back quarter. Well, it was basically even. Texas had 17 points. We had 16 points. We shot 64% from the field. That's terrific. Texas shot 41% from the field. Now we're getting back to what we do as a defense in terms of field goal percentage. We're 1 for 4 from 3 and 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Texas 1 for 2 from 3 and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. In that third quarter, I should say, tonight Latson continued to do work. Had 6 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 1 rebound. And in terms of Agot McCurry, y'all know I love me some Agot McCurry. She had 5 points, 2 for 3 from the field, and just great defense. Great defense. I did maybe disappointed the show where I say how much the refs suck. The refs was terrible last night. They was terrible on our team. They was terrible on their basketball team. They were just terrible. I was not a fan whatsoever of the refs. I think the crowd got into the refs, and they got discombobulated in this basketball game. Third quarter, you saw vintage Madison Booker. 9 points, 4 for 6 from the field, 1 for 2. She's a great basketball player. She is the mid-range queen. She is so good. She gets to her spots, and she knocks those shots down. We go to that fourth quarter, and that's what Carolina turned it on, so to speak. 20 points. Texas had 16 points. Carolina shot 50% from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 67% from the free throw line, 6 for 9. Texas, 7 for 19, shot 39% from the field, 0 for 4 from the three-point line. What's the girl name? Jordan Lee finally found out this basketball game. It was holding on tight. And tonight Latson was trying her best to get her to foul out. And it finally happened. Madison Booker tried to do what she did versus LSU. She took 11 shots. She made 4 of them. Ended up with 8 points in the fourth quarter. But they were tough. I'm fine with it. You take 11 shots, you only hit 4 of them. I'm good with it. And you're 0 for 1 from the three-point line. Rory Harmon, not a factor. 2 points, 0 for 2 from the field. Jordan Lee, 2 points. Justin Carlton, 2 points. This fourth quarter, you have Raven Johnson doing Raven Johnson things. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Raven Johnson is the truth. I have to say that. 6 points, 3 for 5 from the field, 2 huge buckets at the end of the basketball game. She was a bucket getter. She's like, I am not going to lose this damn basketball game at home. I am going to take these last 2 shots. I know I can kick it out to someone else and probably get a decent shot. She took it to the post. She elevated over Rory Harmon, not 1 time, but 2 times. Raven Johnson is the truth for the South Carolina basketball team. Joyce Edwards, clutch. She did not have a good scoring game in terms of field goals, but she hit those free throws. In that fourth quarter, she hit clutch free throws. She was 4 for 5 from the free throw line. Finished up with 6 points in the fourth quarter. South Carolina won. And I'm so happy of the way that they won. They showed a lot of fight. They showed a lot of tenacity. They showed a lot of grit. Those tough games. This was a tough game. But they showed they could win those tough games. They lost a tough game against Texas earlier in the season. They won a tough game versus Louisville, and now they beat Texas in another tough basketball game. If we look at analytics of who was the best in this basketball game, and it's not if you have 20 turnovers in a basketball game, you're not gonna be amazing analytically speaking. It was Raven Johnson. Raven Johnson had the highest efficiency, and that was only 13 for Raven Johnson. But here's the deal: Raven Johnson hit it when she needed to hit it. She had 10 points. She had 6 assists. She had two turnovers. You know, I give those 6 assists to 2 turnover ratio any day of the week. She was 4 for 10 for the field on 40% shooting. Raven also had 4 rebounds and 1 block. She was great, and she did it when she needed to do it. And secondly, who was it? It was Joyce Edwards. Joyce had an efficiency of 12. Joyce had 14 points. Joyce shot 3 for 11 from the field. Joyce had 8 rebounds. She had 3 steals, 2 blocks. Here's the deal that what happened with Joyce Edwards last night. Joyce had 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers. That has to be a high for her in her South Carolina career. They put so much pressure on Joyce Edwards last night, and she was sped up. Now, it was a few times, I would say 2 or 3 times, where they tried to throw long, and it was a turnover. But in the end of the day, 6 turnovers is 6 turnovers. I can't make any excuses when a player has 6 turnovers. That I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, and that is why Joyce's efficiency was low in this basketball game. If she would have had 3 turnovers instead of 6 turnovers, then we got a different conversation. So you had Raven with efficiency of 13, you had Joyce with efficiency of 12, and you had two players with efficiencies 11. That's Tania Latson, and you had Madina. Now, Tania Latson had 12 points, she had 3 assists, she had 2 turnovers, okay? And then she had what 2 rebounds and 2 steals. And Madina, 11, she had efficiency of 11. She had 10 points, 1 assist, 3 turnovers, and had 5 rebounds and 2 steals. This was not a double-double type situation for Madina. Matter of fact, you can make the case during portions of this basketball game where Adhel Tac, and shout out to Adhel Tac, who played hellified defense when she was in the game. Her 12 minutes were impactful plays for Adhel Tac. There were some times in this basketball game where Adhel Tac was the best center on this team, okay? Trust and believe. For the ones who be trying to diss Adhel Tac, it is happening a little bit more often where Adhel is looking really good in the basketball games. And last night was another case of that. Let's go through a few questions. And again, if you're watching me right now while y'all supposed to be working, don't get in trouble. Don't get fired because you're watching Captain Will. Don't do that. Don't do it. I can't do nothing. I can't do it. So here's the deal. Let's go through. Again, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the questions today and on this Friday afternoon. Is it afternoon yet? Almost Friday afternoon. Mill Dog. What's up, my guy? Or my gal? I don't know. Mill Dog. Hey, Captain, can we say Raven Johnson? Raven Johnson was tremendous in this basketball game. She was nice. This is so crazy because it's almost like foreshadowing. I did a show centered on Raven yesterday, talking about how she the catalyst for this basketball team to take us to another Final Four. And then the day after, no, it was 2 days ago. And then the day after Raven Johnson balled out for Carolina, it was the catalyst to Carolina beating Texas. This ain't hyperbole. This ain't no one and done type situation. Raven Johnson is a really good basketball player. She is terrific this season. If we look at the totality of South Carolina women's basketball, and I know it's not getting the media coverage, the national media coverage that people are talking about, but when you look at the totality of South Carolina women's basketball and in SEC play, the 5 games that Carolina's played in SEC play, Raven Johnson has been our best player. And ladies and gentlemen, it ain't been close. She has been our best player in SEC play. Not against non-conference, because non-conference, she was still really, really good. But when the games got tougher, she's gotten better. Some players have came down. Raven has accelerated. So that is what she's been doing. Steve Miles, an ugly win is better than an ugly loss. Cam Will, what do you think of the outstanding play of Agot? Her defense in Washington played much the fourth quarter. Steve Miles, thank you for the comment. I love me some Agot McCurry. Make no mistake about it. I love her play. Last night, she had an efficiency of 3. Now, when we talk about efficiency of 3, the reason she had efficiency of 3 because she played 13 minutes and she had 3 turnovers. She had 8 points. She was 3 for 7 from the field. She always played great defense. I can make the case that Agot is our best perimeter defender on this basketball team. And she's only getting better. Now, I think the reason that she didn't play much in the fourth quarter because Dawn went with a lineup. I mean, tonight Latson played 36 minutes, okay? Tessa played 28 minutes. You got Raven playing 31 minutes. So Dawn kind of went with the more of the proven commodities in this game. I'm not a fan. Trust me, I'm not a fan of tonight playing on 36 minutes now, especially coming off an ankle injury. So, and also with that, here's the deal. I think tonight I got a little tired too. 36 minutes after not having playing, a few games. So I think a little conditioning. But I would have liked Agot to play some in the fourth quarter. Make no mistake about it. Agot size, her length, her ability to guard multiple positions probably would have helped in the fourth quarter. I feel that way. Vernon Kelly, put some respect, RESPEK, on Raven Johnson's name. You got to. I'm seeing a lot of lists. And the media is talking about who's the best top 25, who's the best top 20, who's the best this, that, and the third. Y'all better put Raven Johnson on that stuff. Because I saw this list. I saw a list just recently. I think it was by ESPN. And they had 3 players, top 25, 3 players. They had Joyce, they had Madina, and they had Tanaya. If you watch, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm talking to you, ESPN, if you actually watch every game for the South Carolina women's basketball team, the three-time national champions, in SEC play, there is no dispute of who the best player on South Carolina has been. No dispute. In the conversation. In the conversation. And if you have a conversation with me, I tell you that. There's no dispute who's been the best player. Madina is really, really good. But in SEC play, Madina has disappeared in multiple games. Okay? So Raven has not disappeared in any game in SEC play. She's elevated her game. Okay? So there ain't no way in hell that Raven Johnson ain't on everybody's top 25 list. She on mine. She is on mine. She's been balling. Danny Joyce, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. You got that right. It was a great game last night. Love a good old defensive ugly game. And it was ugly. It was ugly. It was stank. It was grimy. I'm talking about, you know how you wake up in the morning? You got to go to work early in the morning. Like I remember I used to go to PT in the morning. We got to show up, especially at Fort Bragg, I got to show up early anyway. And you just wake up and the breath stinking and just the stuff out coming out your eyes and slobbered a lot, just looking crazy. That's how that was last night at that basketball game. It was ugly. It was a disgusting game, but we won. And we felt good about winning in this basketball game. Felt terrific. Pharaoh X, Raven is clutch. She's a clutch. Thank you for the comment. Yes, she is. She is nice. She is awesome. And y'all know we love Raven Johnson. Nobody gets a bigger applause from their fan base other than Raven Johnson when she's announced. She will be missed. If Raven Johnson goes out this year and wins the national championship, there need to be books made for real. Because you when you say Raven Johnson, it's synonymous with winning. And every player, every so-called star player out there is not synonymous with winning. You got players out there synonymous with scoring. Notre Dame lost again. Hannah Hidalgo scoring. ESPN is so good about, how many games she scored, 20-plus points against whatever competition. Hannah Hidalgo ain't synonymous about winning. Hannah Hidalgo ain't never get no championship. Ever. She is not getting the championship at Notre Dame. It ain't going to happen. And this year, it won't even be close. But we hear so much about her being a terrific, great player because she can score the basketball or she can get some steals. How about winning? I think in a team sport, winning means something. Winning means something. And Raven Hollywood Johnson wins more than anybody in college basketball. Devin Odom, hell of a game. You got that right. Drivy Girl, the Raven Johnson. I love that. The Raven Johnson. Lady Michelle T. Everyone needs to go get that Raven special from Kiki Chicken and Waffles in Columbia. Shout out to Kiki Chicken and Waffles in Columbia. I ain't never heard of Kiki Chicken and Waffles in Columbia. Now I need to go to Chicken and Waffles in Columbia. Kiki, Lady Michelle T. Hit up Kiki Chicken and Waffles. Selling Captain Will coming. Next basketball game in, Wifey Will going to. We come to Kiki Chicken and Waffles. It better be on point. Raven special. That's what's up. Dolly by Darvin. I like that. Now, what was that about? Agot not need to shoot threes, LOL. Oh, my God. Woo! That was the point. Thank you for the comment. That was the point where I was like, oh, no. Oh, Lord, she hit it. That's what it was. It was so crazy. I was like, girl, don't you shoot that. It went in. Oh, my God. That was I don't know what Madina doing. Sometimes I'm like bugging. I'm like, what is she doing? And this is the deal, man. My wife and I was having this conversation coming back for the game last night. Madina's only played basketball for 5 years. For her to be this good, only playing 5 years, well, you got some players most players who've been playing basketball have been playing since they were 4 or 5 years old. My grandkids play basketball. My boys, they play basketball. And they've been playing ball since it was 5. Okay? Can you imagine if this young lady started playing basketball at 5 years old, how good she would be? It's just like when she plays against teams that are really good and they speed her up, sometimes it seems like she's thinking a little bit too much. This is why she needs another year of seasoning. Another year of seasoning. She needs to sprinkle that Lowry's in there. Just a little bit more seasoning. NCAA need to give her one more year of seasoning before she try to go to the WNBA. Because she needs that. She needs one more year. And if she had one more year at the South Carolina program, I think she would be straight up amazing. Just one more year. Billy Bob Cooter, was it more frustrating to watch the turnovers or the missed free throws? Turnovers for sure. I mean, you have 20 turnovers. Free throws is what it is. I mean, and here's the deal. We weren't bad at the free throw line last night. Real talk, we are at 69%, 18 for 26 from the free throw line is roundabout where Carolina has been the last 10 years, with the exception of a couple of years ago when we won the national championship. Most of the time, South Carolina cannot hit free throws. I shouldn't say cannot hit free throws. We hit around 69, 70, 71%. That is the norm. That is the norm when you talk about a South Carolina women's basketball team shooting free throws. And here's the deal. The reason why Carolina shoots around 70% from the free throw line is we are a post-centric basketball team. So if we are a post-centric basketball team, when the more likely than not, the players that go to the free throw line are post players. And in college basketball, most of the post players don't hit a great clip at the free throw line. When you have teams that are perimeter-centric basketball teams, their guards are going to the free throw line. And more likely than not, guards hit free throws better than posts. So you have the case, 20, this small sample size, but we talk about the game for last night. We shot 26 free throws. Of those 26 free throws, Joyce had 9 of them. So that's 9 out of 26. You had Madina had 2. You had Adhel had 2. So that's 9, 11, 13. 13 out of the 26 free throws were distributed from Joyce, Madina, and Adhel. That's 3 players in the post. Now you got Tanaya who had 4. She had 2 of them. You had Tessa who had 4. She had 2 of them. You had Madina, who I said, who had 2, who normally gets about 4, 5, 6 free throws a game. This was an anomaly for her, but she wasn't aggressive, so she wasn't getting fouled. Maddy didn't get any. Ayla didn't get any. Agot had 3. What I'm trying to say is we are what we are. A couple years ago, we won the national championship. And you know what? That time when we won a national championship a couple years ago, we were a free throw shooting team that hit about 70% from the field, from the free throw line. We couldn't shoot great free throws then. What we cannot do as a basketball team is have 20 turnovers in a game when we normally commit about 12. We hit our average in free throws, so I'm cool. I'm cool with that. We were way over in terms of turnovers. So that's what got me in this basketball game. Cool thing about it, with us forcing 22 turnovers for Texas, they were completely out of the game with that mess. So we got to clean that part up in terms of getting turnovers or committing a bunch of turnovers versus high quality basketball teams, because it's becoming more of a pattern, you know, and we ain't gonna play Texas all the time, and we're not gonna play a team as good as Texas most of the time, you know, because you can make the case right now that UConn's number 1, Carolina's number 2 in the country. More than likely, that is how it's gonna be. After we beat up on Coppin State on Sunday, when the polls come out, Carolina be number 2 in the AP poll, UConn number 1, and then, you know, another thing too. I don't know if you guys, you know, watch the keep up with the ESPN bracketology that Charlie Cream from ESPN does. You know, he always, you know, and he's really good about it. Actually, he's really good about projecting where the top 68 teams and what regions and you know, the number 1 seeds and things of that nature. So before this game last night, Carolina was projected to be a number 1 seed, Sacramento, California. Okay. And so basically we would be the 3rd overall seed going to Sacramento, California. Okay. Now with this win over Texas, we're projected to go to Fort Worth. Okay. So now we're basically number 2 overall in this in the field of 68, still a number 1 seed, but instead of going to Sacramento, we'll go to Fort Worth. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, UConn ain't losing no games. Okay, UConn is not going to lose a game in the big. It's really sad. This is the deal, man. It's really sad that UConn is in the Big East because their conference is so poor, and they're going to blow everybody out. They're going to blow everybody out. And it's cool that they play a tough non-conference. And I saw the thing yesterday that UConn is going to be playing LSU next season. And it's going to be in Nashville. And then also we're going to be playing UConn. So it's cool because they have to do something. Because if they did not play a challenge, can you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can you imagine if UConn did not play a challenging non-conference schedule? Can you imagine that? They will literally play nobody, but they play a challenging non-conference schedule. So shout out to Gino on that because the conference is terrible. It's terrible. So UConn will go undefeated the rest of the way into the tournament. They'll be number 1 overall seed, and they will have the easiest, quote unquote, easiest path to the to the Final Four. Now, I'm not sure who would be the number 2 seed in their region. Hopefully it'll be somebody who will give them a run. Hopefully, I wouldn't be upset. What if it's like a LSU, you know, number 2 seed? What if it's like, you know, we'll see. We will see. But Carolina, if it started today, Carolina would be a number 1 seed in the Fort Worth, Texas region. And I ain't mad at that at all. I mean, going to Sacramento, that would be cool. I've never been to Sacramento. That would be straight. My homegirl Morgan from Big Brother lives in, Sacramento. Amy, my homegirl Amy from Big Brother lives in Sacramento. So that would have been dope. But Fort Worth to get some barbecue. I would love some barbecue from Texas. Ooh, I love it. I would love it. Kenneth Bracey, thank you for being a member. It was a great game last night. Yes, it was. It was a great game. Miracle Rider, thank you for being a member too. Hey, Cam, will say hello to your wife. Hey, wife. Miracle Rider said, hey. Hey, thank you for coming. Devin Odom, that game was given Final Four for sure. Our ladies showed pure grit last night, and I loved every minute of it. Preach, Cap. It was not good. It was not good for my, I mean, I'm telling you, I need a blood pressure pill. It was crazy. That game was unbelievable. The energy in that arena was so epic. So epic. The music was good. I was grooving. Groove tonight. I was before you letting go. Before I let go. I was doing everything. My wife was slapping me. Cause she think y'all see me on TV. She think I be doing too much sometimes. I probably do, but I was having so much fun last night. So much fun. It was so just clapping hands with everybody, dapping it up. Had to do some hand sand though, because the flu out there. So gotta be careful. But it was so much fun. DJT, we can agree to disagree, Cap, but right now Maddy is not the answer to Raven. I didn't know there was a conversation about talking about Maddy. And what's up, my guy? I don't even know what to say. She's not the answer to Raven. I'm higher on Maddy than most. I ain't gonna say, how can I say? I'm higher than Maddy than some. I love Maddy. Maddy's role for this basketball team next year will be much different than it is this year. Is Maddy, how can I say, y'all? The role that Maddy has is to drive to the basket, kick the ball out to an open player. If the player isn't open, Maddy goes to the basket hard, hopes to get fouled or commit or get the layup. That is a role. Everybody has defined roles. Maddy can get to the cup anytime she wants to. At this point, at this juncture, she's not finishing. But one-on-one, Maddy can break down anybody. One-on-one, Maddy is the best at doing that. Okay? Maddy's not taking many jumpers, but that is the role that she's playing. Make no mistake about it. If we look at assist to turnover ratio, Maddy McDaniel is the best on this basketball team. Okay? Next year, her role will be more evolved. Maddy has been playing good basketball. Maddy has been playing, an exorbitant amount of minutes. And at times, here's the deal, when you have Raven and Maddy in the basketball game together, you didn't see that last night because it's Latson playing 36 minutes. But you have Raven and Maddy in the game together. Maddy is playing point guard. This is why when the games are there together, Maddy will have 5 or 6 assists and either 0 turnover or 1 turnover. Okay? Maddy is an excellent basketball player. We can have a conversation later about how good Maddy is, but the roles got to be more defined. It just got to be more defined. Maddy is going to be the point guard next season. She is. And I believe Maddy's going to have an outstanding year next season when she's playing 30 minutes a game. And she is a true point guard. She's not the true point guard on this basketball team with Raven Johnson on it. But it's cool. It's cool. My mom's, hey, my baby Captain Woods, too early for all that. LOL. My mama crazy. I love my mama. Love my parents. Love my baby. If y'all still have parents, your parents still alive, y'all better love up on them. Love up on them for real. Virtual White. My shot is half and half. Half and half. Oh, I love it. Pharaoh X, Texas played well today. Tessa played well today. I mean, Define playing well. She had 13 points. She did. She was 4 for 5 from the field. That was nice. She was 3 for 4 from the three-point line. That was terrific. She was 2 for 4 from the free throw line. That wasn't so much. She only had 2 rebounds. Tessa's been averaging about 5 rebounds per basketball game. She had 0 assists. Tessa's been averaging about 3 assists per basketball game in SEC play. Tessa had 4 turnovers. Okay? Tessa does not commit 4 turnovers. Tessa averaged almost 2 turnovers per basketball game. She had 1 steal. So if you look at it the ESPN way, where you don't look at turnovers, Tessa had a great game. She did. If you look at the ESPN way, we just mentioned points, rebounds, and assists. She had a nice game. But when you look at the Captain Will way, Tessa did not have a great game. She had 4 turnovers. We are not, on my show, what we ain't going to do is exclude turnovers in a basketball game. We reward efficient basketball. Other shows, other YouTube shows, other media exclude those things. But Captain Will don't do those things. So we got to call a spade a spade. If you have a bunch of turnovers in the basketball game, because it lowers your efficiency. And Tessa Johnson's efficiency in this basketball game was efficiency of 10 in a basketball game. We're not going to say that Dutch player had a great game. Dutch player had an average game. If she would have had 2 turnovers, 1 turnover, then we could say that she had a great game. But 4 turnovers in 28 minutes, we're not going to say that. We're not going to do that right there. Turnovers got to be cut. That's why I always talk about turnovers, because most people don't. If you look at the totality of what Joyce did, and I talk about Joyce with 14 points, 8 rebounds. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. In 38 minutes of play, a plus minus of 7. He was like, yo, she had a tremendous game in the box score on the bottom ticker on ESPN. Like, she had an amazing game. But then you look at it, you peel back the onion, and you look at the Captain Will way and you say she had 6 turnovers. 6 turnovers. We can't say those things because those turnovers matter. We was watching football. And Pharaoh X, if we watching football and you say, the playoffs is going on right now, right? So you say Caleb Williams threw for 4 touchdowns, threw for 300 yards. Like, yo, he had a bomb game, right? But then you say he had 4 interceptions. You wouldn't say that. He play all right. That's the same way I felt when our players get a bunch of turnovers. Brennan Kelly, Texas got the beef. What's up, man? Those girls are hard to box out, bro. You know, you're right. You are right. But our girls did a number on Oldacre. Did a number. Oldacre was a non-factor in this basketball game. And she just gave LSU work. In this basketball game, you're talking about 21 minutes, 3 points, 1 for 4 from the field, 2 rebounds, and 4 fouls. She was nothing in this basketball game. And this is a player who's shooting over 60%, averaging 16 points and 8 rebounds in SEC play. She was a non-factor. And the other big, Cunningham, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Our girls did so well against Oldacre and Cunningham. Madison Booker was the quote-unquote best player. Real talk, if we look at efficiency, Rory Harmon was the best player. Rory Harmon had an efficiency of 20. Rory Harmon in this basketball game, 16 points, 6 for 12 in the field, 0 for 1 from the 3, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, and 3 steals in 38 minutes of play. Had an efficiency of 20. Madison Booker, 24 points, 11 for 25 from the field, 1 for 5 from the three-point line, 1 for 1 for the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers, 2 steals in 40 minutes. Both of those players, 20 efficiency, Madison Booker, 17. Both of those players played the bulk of the game because Texas does not sub. They did not sub. Paula Griffin, Agot McCurry is going to be something special for the Gamecocks, and I love it. Agot is going to be the truth. Agot is going to be true. Next year's team, where you got Agot, you got Ayla, who didn't play last night. You got Jersey, we're gonna be nice at the wing possession. It's gonna be so much fun watching, and oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun. I love her ability to guard. I love her ability to guard. She got to work on her three. She has to work on her three, and I've seen her hit a lot of threes, but it's kind of like an awkward shot. Her ability to guard, her ability to rebound, she can push the pace, all those things. I love it. I love how she plays. She get a little stronger, gain a little weight. She's gonna be nice. Larry Kent, Important Wren, Raven, Big Raspberry to the TV announcers. At least twice they ignored controversial plays because they were sharing stories about some other nonsense. Larry Kent, I haven't rewatched the game. I'm gonna rewatch the game today, and I'm gonna listen to the announcers. Was this the game? I couldn't see where I was sitting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Rebecca Lobo calling the game? I'm not sure. But if she was calling the game, I don't like when Rebecca Lobo calls games. I despise it. I despise it. And then the sharing stories and the because everything is, and I know this because I called a game for ESPN Plus, so I know that everything is already by the minute of what you're going to talk about. So okay, at minute 17, we're going to talk about this story of Captain Will doing this. And then we're going to talk about this story at minute 22 of Wifey Will doing that. Those things are already done. But here's the deal. If you're talking about something that got nothing to do with what's going on in the court, especially when it's some weird plays that's going on, you kind of probably need to pivot and say, yo, we probably need to talk about this. So I do need to watch that. I do need to watch that part. The Damn Ram. I like that name, the Damn Ram. Hey, Cap, I feel like our offense still has 2 or more rungs they can climb before March. Just got to improve free throw shooting a bit more and cut back on the sloppy turnovers. Thoughts? I agree with you completely. This was an anomaly. This is an anomaly. Carolina still top 12, top 13 in terms of fewest turnovers per basketball game. It's just when we play Texas, we get a bunch of turnovers. I'm going to do some type of analysis, I don't know, when I get some time, to see when we play top 25 teams of how many turnovers we actually get, because it don't look nice. It don't look, but all in all, when we have played, I can't remember how many turnovers we had versus Louisville, so forgive me. We commit a bunch of turnovers versus the quality teams, but we also force turnovers. Could it be because those teams that we play that are really good know our tendencies? Maybe we know their tendencies. Maybe you have so many players that are athletic and getting turnovers. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that needs to calm down, because when we go, okay, let me think this out. We play Texas now. If we play Texas again in the SEC tournament, if we do, it'll probably be championship game, right? We probably won't play a team as good as, I'd say this right here. We won't play a team as good as Texas until the Final Four. How crazy is that? That is the truth. We won't play a team as good as Texas until the Final Four this season. Now we might play Texas 2 more times, or at least 1 more time, but we won't play a team as good as them. That goes to the credit of the roster, or should I say the schedule that Carolina's had. But I don't want to play Texas no more. I don't. Free throw shooting, our guards got to be a little bit more consistent. They're just not going to the free throw line a lot. When you got a player like Tania Latson, who averaged about 5, she was averaging about 5, free throw attempts per basketball game. She was only 2 for 4 last night. You got Tessa, who's a terrific free throw shooter, hitting 50% last night, but they're not going at a high clip, man. That's the only thing. Danny Joy, Raven is the best point guard in the country. Don't at me. Well, you get no complaints from me. You get no complaints from me. If I'm building a basketball team, I want Raven Johnson on it, and I want her to be my point guard. You have with Rory and Raven, you have 2 similar guards. But I take Raven. Devin Odom, Raven, Dab, Gone, Hollywood Johnson. I love that. Lady Michelle, Raven is fire this season. Yes, she is. She is so she is nice, man. More M-M3W was waiting for this live. You never disappoint, Captain Will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I couldn't do live last night. I mean, the game was over. We didn't stay in Columbia. We came back home, and but I was like, yo, we're gonna do this the next day around lunchtime. I ain't mad about doing a lunchtime podcast. I ain't gonna front. I can do this more often. Around 11:30, do a lunchtime podcast, go on for about an hour and talk and chop it up with y'all. That's cool. The numbers are popping. Chuck Baylor, what's up, my guy? Let's let the fans feel it, bro. C-Dog, let's go. One love, Gamecock Nation. What's up, my guy? Like I don't know if you heard it earlier when I did the show. Thank you so much last night for allowing me and my wife to be in the suite with you and your family. Had a great time. So thank you, my brother. Carlo Jackson, what's going on, Cap? It's up, bro? What is up? JB, ref saved Lee from that 5th foul until they couldn't anymore. Bro, let me say this right here. Jordan Lee should have fouled out in the basketball game, I would say, in the 3rd quarter. Fouled out. And yes, I got gripes with how the refs called this game. I got gripes how they allow certain things to pass and other things not to pass. So now Jordan Lee, who I love, make no mistake about it, I love Jordan Lee as a basketball player. I loved her in high school. I wanted her to be a Gamecock. But she should have fouled out that game. And there was a couple of times where they called some iffy fouls on our players. But it was some calls where they could have put her out the game early and they waited to the last bit. Now, I just say it like that. Refs suck. They sucked last night. They were terrible. Danny Joy, analytics don't tell the whole story. Agot and Delhi showed up big time. Agot had Booker in hell. Agot played Booker well at times. Madison Booker is a really, really good basketball player. Really good basketball player. I think that Texas relies too much on her one-on-one to score for them. They relied on it against us. They relied on it against LSU, and they lost both basketball games. And in terms of Agot playing more, I got it. I get it. But you're going to sit Tanaya? Who are you going to sit? You going to sit Tessa? Who are you going to sit? You're not going to sit because when you playing, okay, if you're playing Agot in those crunch moments, you still got to score too now. You got to score. And Tanaya and Tessa are better scorers of the basketball than Agot. Defensively, Agot is better than both of them. But you still got to score the basketball. And again, I mentioned that Agot had 3 turnovers in 13 minutes. So we have to discuss that too. So when you averaging a turnover every 4 minutes, that is a problem in a game that is divulged. That that is a problem when you have so many turnovers. So just doing the metric, if you average a turnover every 4 minutes, if you playing more, you should probably end up with about 5 turnovers. So you gotta do that too. Doc Schatz, one captain. Because South Carolina used a 1-3-1 zone that they have worked on to stop some of the mid-range. I really thought they was gonna play some zone, especially how they showed it in the previous game, which worked well. I think we just fall back into the old habits of what we've done and how we're gonna do and all that crap. And I think a zone would have worked out well with us. And maybe in the future, maybe Don just kind of just tipping a toe in with the zone. We'll just see. We'll see. Philip Harris said Raven is her. She sure is. Raven is her. And Ryan and Rebecca were the announcers for last night's game. 2 people who normally when I'm watching the game and those two are on the announce desk, I mute it, just to be clear. With that being said, thank you for watching the Sunday. It ain't Sunday, it's Friday. Thank you for watching the lunchtime version of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come right with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.